Hello everyone, welcome back. Another IPET Go 2 breakdown video. I think this is going to cover some amazing timeline confirmations and predictions. Just thanks to this YouTube channel, ARTFA, for coming up with the star map theory of IPET Go 2. Bush here wearing the hat with the star map as the blackboard. You can see different constellations that IPET Go 2 shows us throughout the IPET Go 2 to tell us what timelines we're at. So go check out this channel. It was done about 3 years ago with all of this decoding of the chronological layer. I think he's off by a few years, but again, it lines up now as we move in from 2023 into 2025. So my previous theory still stands true in the classroom. These are each lunar calendar, Chinese lunar years. With the last innocent year being the 2023 represented by Lily, and as she drops the apple, it's kind of go time. Heliofant uses Chinese New Year so we can use imagery for passing of time. The other theory I have is that every time we see this human spirit character and his heart, this is a transition into the next Chinese lunar year. So again, September 4th, I think, is go time. When she drops the apple, we see it represented with the dot. I think that this is represented by Jupiter, which started retrograde motion September 4th and ended on December 31st, 2023. So as it rolls across the classroom floor, hits Obama's shoe and comes back, I think this represents retrograde to normal orbit reference. So here we are at December 31st, 2023 when it hits the shoe and rolls back. Heliofant deleted all his videos around September 5th, so I think this lines up with us supposed to be looking at this as kind of the next sequential part of the video, and this is where it kind of kicks off. The next confirmation in the lunar map is this LC constellation, which is the tip of Sagittarius and Corona Australis. So the second last new moon of 2023 Chinese lunar year occurs on January 10th. We see the new moon happening just beside this LC constellation, and Mars happens to just be here to the right of it. And I think that this apple now turns into representing Mars, as we see the leaf and the stem on the apple showing us the same astrological symbol as Mars. Okay, so if I go forward to the next one here, we can see on January 27th, Mars stays in Sagittarius here beside the LC constellation, and we get a conjunction of Mars and Mercury. This is where the apple splits and then conjoins together, and we can see Mars here represented with the leaf, with the two leaves as the arrow, and the stem, right, showing us the astrological sign here. Venus is also under the hoof of Sagittarius here in the constellation, and I think this is represented by the coin that's under Obama's, shoe or hoof. Okay. Moving forward, the final new moon of the Chinese lunar year 2023 occurs in Aquarius on February 10th, and I think this is represented by the bead of sweat that's pouring down off of Obama's head, showing us that it's the constellation of Aquarius with his bucket of water pouring down. As we move forward, we leave the classroom, and this is the official kind of transition into the Chinese New Year of 2024, or lunar year of 2024. So 2024 happens to be the 23rd anniversary of the first IPET Go, right? September 11th, 2001. So Psalm 23 here. So 23 years later, now we're going to start IPET Go 2 events. Donald's trial, right? It's written in Psalm here. His trial was stand to start for his criminal activities on the eclipse date of March 25th. And I think this little symbol here is kind of the eclipse of the moon, right? Just shown as the indent with the sun just kind of illuminating the top little bit. So moving forward in the star map, May 7th, 2024, we have a new moon. We have the shark in the background, the flagpole with a piece of one star flying away. If we look at the star map on May 7th, sorry, not March, but May 7th, we have Pisces here representing the bent pole we have Cetus representing the shark in the background, and we have Mercury representing this star that's moving through and out of the constellation of Pisces into Cetus. January 5th, 2024, we have a new moon. June 5th, 2024, we have the new moon in the horns of Taurus, represented by the two towers smoking, right? As we see the bull with his blowing the smoke out of his nose. So moving forward, we then have October 2nd, which is the eclipse new moon, right? The eclipse of the sun. We have a new moon. And we actually have Mercury here again showing up, almost conjoining this eclipse. So as we see here, this guy jumping off, he has the star on his chest, I think is Mercury. His arms splayed out like the constellation of Virgo to confirm this part in the star map. So October 2nd, 2024. Then we move into November 4th, 2024, new moon in the constellation of Scorpius. Scorpius represented by Osama here. And we have Mercury again. He, like Heliofant, seems to be following Mercury as kind of to tell us another symbol to look for. So we have the new moon kind of starting here with the crescent. Okay, this moon is coming, is opening, right? It's coming to a new moon. We're seeing as we see more of it, and on Osama's beard we see this like comet, which I believe is Mercury, which is actually at the tip of Scorpius here in the star map, confirming this timeline here. Even we have Sagittarius with his bow pulled back, which is, I think, is represented by this character here with his spear. Moving into November 2024, this scene here, there's been a notice that OPEC is slowing oil production down as we see the oil slowly stopping, and I think that this is leading up to helping the big collapse coming in 2025. New moon, November 28th, so back to the star map, we have the new moon at the foot of Virgo, November 28th, 2024, and I think the Statue of Liberty here, this is Lady Liberty, so expect something to happen about Trump's sentencing, whether, whatever craziness happens, but I think that that's kind of a link here that we should be looking for. December 30th, new moon, the sky closes up, all right, so we see the blackness there is the new moon. It is beside Corona Australis constellation here, which is known as the Southern Crown, and we can see here the crown of Lady Liberty is lit up to tell us where that's the constellation. We have the new moon here in December 30th, 2024. Now we move into 2025. We still haven't seen the cutscene though, because we are still in the lunar year of 2024, which doesn't end until January 29th, 2025. So on January 29th of 2025, we have the new moon in Capricorn, and we see here that this symbol here, I think that this is the horns of Capricorn, and it just so happens that on January 21st, we will start getting this planetary parade with up to 6 planets in the sky, which I think is represented by the 6 times that this snake is wrapped around this extension here. Moving into 2025, so then we have the cutscene where we see the human spirit's heart shape. We move into the year of the snake, and then we see the events follow. So Trump screaming through the TV. Then we will have the official war starting on March 27th, and the attack in Turkey and the mosque in May through September, war in the Islamic world, and peace removed all the way through 2025. So on March 26th, we have a new moon in Pisces. So I think that this scene here, as it comes down, this black pool is the new moon. We have the 2 needles showing the 2 pieces of Pisces, and we actually have Venus that lines up in the middle, so the pills representing the different planets, Venus, Mercury being this one, Saturn being this one, and then Neptune, which is kind of like blue or hidden, right? We can't really see it, is Neptune sitting here. So then on March 27th, we had this protest, right? Back, this used to be in another video I covered at the French Open in 2022. We had 1,028 days left, and this falls right on March 27th. So following the IPEC-02, then we see the war declared in his eyes, right? The market crash. So this is where the big event starts, and we're not going back. Then I think the attack in Turkey, right? We see the planes come and drop the bomb on the mosque. At the end of 2025, end of May 2025, around the constellation of Taurus, there's about 5 planets that are pretty close by. I think that that could be represented by the 5 right missiles coming out, and smoke again in the mosque representing the bull, blowing smoke out as it's in the constellation of Taurus here. I'll just open this up so you can pause the video if you want to check it out. But there's the Taurus and the new moon, May 27th. Then war for 2025. So I think the eclipse, when it collapses here, the mosque is showing the last eclipse, solar eclipse here, right, with the star. And it just so happens that this occurs right beside the constellation of Corvus, which is a bird, as we see the birds coming out, and we see a crater in the mosque, which is the actual constellation crater right beside it. So why Turkey? The minaret here, I've covered this before. Pause this if you want to see it, but actually this is called the Golden Horn region in Turkey. And as we can see here, we're on a horn. We have this golden color in the background. So right here again, I think that this is the confirmation why the attack on the mosque is going to be in Turkey. Again, Heliofant predicted Trump. Okay, the character, this guy in the background is the 2025 head in the calendar, in the classroom. He's sitting with his arms crossed. This is called the Roman shield. So again, I had no doubt, this is a confirmation I made a while ago that Trump was going to get in this last election. And my theory is Trump needs to be elected for the chaos to begin. He'll be there when the big market collapse begins, when the war starts. We even have Elon Musk, this whole dark mega thing where Elon Musk is kind of the electronic or technology guy. So could we see the dollar collapse for crypto to be brought in? And I think that we won't forget the November 5th election. I think this will be, known in time as when kind of the shit hit the fan. Medical events still possible in 2024 with this barbed wire in the classroom, I'm not sure. So be on the lookout for that. Then we move into 2026, okay, with another cutscene where we see after the mosque collapses, the human spirit's heart, peace is burned up, the peace symbol, and the year 2026 is the year of the horse. I think that this is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and I think we're getting into Revelation 6:1, the seals, as we see the seals broken. So I will cover this in the next video as I try and look at the star map to confirm this timeline. But again, just to summarize, we're looking at new moons. Heliofant is kind of covering the star map with new moons, and we can see the progression of IPEC-02 video through that. So I'll just come back to this. So again, 2025, we have this timeline I've put together. We have kind of the red scene as we leave the human spirit, March 13th. We have Trump yelling at us all the way till March 29th, or March 27th, when we get the big war starting, and then expected to start in the Islamic area, with Trump supporting Israel, right? He needs to be in there because he's kind of going to be the warmonger. So get ready. I think it's timeline's coming. And then, like I said, I will cover 2026 in the next video. Thank you. And just, if you can, subscribe, like, whatever you do, just to see whether it does push this video around. And if you have any comments, let me know.